Most Fortnite players grind their mechanics every single day. They drop into creative, run edit courses, warm up their aim with Kovacs or aim labs, and spend hours trying to perfect their building and movement. But when it comes to leading a team, actually becoming the voice, the direction, the strategy, they freeze. Not because they're incapable, but because being an IGL means pressure. It means accountability. It means being the person who takes the blame when a rotation fails or a surge plan doesn't work out, even if your decision made sense at the time. And for a lot of players, that fear of failure, that fear of being wrong is enough to stop them from ever stepping up. Even though, in reality, becoming an IGL might be the one thing that finally unlocks their full potential. It's wild how much effort players put into becoming better fraggers, better mechanic players, better aimers, but completely overlook the one role that actually controls the game. Because leadership isn't about being cracked, it's not about being the most mechanical or the flashiest, it's about being consistent. It's about staying calm when things go sideways, it's about making the decisions for your team, not just for yourself. And that kind of mindset is very rare. That kind of preparation, understanding how Storm Surge works, when to rotate, how to play different zones, is the real skill gap that separates the average competitive player from someone who's genuinely hard to beat. Most players never develop it, because it doesn't show in highlight reels. You don't get views on TikTok for predicting 5th zone pulls or planning your team's dead side rotates 2 minutes ahead. But you do get placements, you do get clutch moments, you do get consistency, and you get teammates who trust you, who follow your calls without hesitation because they've seen that you're right more than often not. Most players never step into that role because they assume IGLs are born, not made, that you either have it or you don't, when in reality, anyone who's willing to learn, prepare, and take on responsibility can become a great IGL. So why don't more players do it? A huge part of it comes down to ego. Most players don't want to be the one giving up kills to focus on awareness and comms. They don't want to be the person studying replays instead of grinding ranked. They want to drop 10 kills, get featured in a montage, and let someone else worry about rotates and surge. And I get it, being the fragger is fun, but if you actually care about winning, if you're serious about climbing in ranked, placing in tournaments, or going pro, then becoming an IGL isn't optional. It's the only way to take full control of your improvements and your results. And the truth is, the players who eventually do become IGLs are usually the ones who got tired of relying on someone else to. They were sick of their teams falling apart in endgame, sick of scuffed surge plans, sick of hearing "I don't know" every time a tough decision had to be made, so they stepped up. Not because it was easy, but because no one else would. And that's where real progress starts. Most of your top tier pros this season are IGLs, and they're still getting the most damage and most kills. And let's be honest, IGLing is very hard. You're making decisions in real time, under pressure, with incomplete information. You have to manage your own gameplay, your awareness of the map, your understanding of zones, and your teammates' positioning, all while staying calm and focused. You're the one who sets the tone for the team. If you panic, they panic. If you're quiet, they hesitate. If you tilt, they spiral. It's not a role for people who want to coast, but that's exactly why it makes you better. Because once you step into it, you can't rely on anyone else. You have to learn. You have to get better. You have to take ownership of every mistake and treat every game as a chance to grow. And that mindset, that's what separates good players from truly elite ones. Once you take responsibility for your team's decisions, you realize how many fights you could have avoided, how many zones you could have played better, and how many games you lost because nobody was thinking ahead. IGLs don't just react, they predict, they prepare, and they lead under pressure. Before we go even deeper into what separates great IGLs from everyone else, I need to drop a quick word about something that can help you get there 10 times faster, and that's the Flow Improvement Hub. If you've ever wanted to actually become an IGL but didn't know where to start, the Flow Improvement Hub Discord is the best resource out there. It's a completely free Discord community built for competitive Fortnite players who want to level up fast. We've got everything from fully updated drop maps, optimized surge routes, team coaching, live VOD review sessions, and a network of grinders just like you looking to win. Whether you're trying to learn how to lead a trio, fix your mid-game problems, or stop dying in dead side rotates, My Improvement Hub has the resources to help you build a real IGL brain. Everyone in the Flow Improvement Hub, we care about real placements and your long-term consistency. So if you're serious about getting better, join the Flow Improvement Hub right now. Links in the description, or just search up discord.gg/flowin, FLOWIN. Now, let's talk about how to actually become a great IGL. The first thing you need to do is commit to the role. You can't half-ass it. You can't be an IGL only when things are going well. You have to be that voice even when your team is getting keyed off spawn, when you're scuffed with no heals, when zone pulls edge and you're low on mats. Leadership means consistency. You have to be the most prepared, the most focused, and the most unshakable. And that starts outside the game. You need to be watching replays, your own and pro matches, not just for mechanics, but for decisions. Why do they rotate then? Why do they play high ground early in that zone but low in another? How do they time their surge tags? What layers did they use in moving zones? Every IGL is a student of the game first, a leader second. You need to be building systems like calling setups for mid games, pre-planning box positions for endgame, and figuring out how to recover when your plans fall apart. These are the habits that will take you from a shot caller to a real in-game leader and a predictor. Communication is another skill that most people overlook. It's not just about talking more, it's about talking better. Great IGLs give short, clear, confident calls. They don't ramble, they don't second guess mid-rotate, and they say, rotate now, land on this tree, don't build, pop minis when we land. Specific, timely, and calm. When your teammates are under pressure, they need a direction, not debate. And even if your call ends up being wrong, it is better to commit and adjust than to hesitate and get split. Confidence builds trust, and trust builds chemistry. The way you speak matters just as much as what you say. A shaky, I think we should rotate, is way less effective than a calm, assertive, we're going now, trust. Your tone becomes the emotional baseline for the whole squad. You also need to learn the difference between micromanaging and macro calling. Some IGLs call every little movement, every box placement, every play. Others focus on the big picture, rotations, surge plans, zone control, and let their teammates handle the details. Both styles can work, but you have to find one that fits your team. And more importantly, you have to adapt. If your fragger is experienced, you don't need to micromanage. But if they're panicking or losing fights, you might need to step in more. IGLs aren't rigid. They read the game, read their teammate, and adjust in real time. You're part strategist and part psychologist. You need to know how your teammates respond under stress, when to push them, and when to give them space. You're not just giving calls, you're building your actual team up and your unit. Then there's composure. This might be the most important trait of all. No matter how good your calls are, if you can't stay calm when the game starts falling apart, you're not a real IGL and you will never be a good IGL. Because here's the truth, things will always go wrong. You will make bad calls, you will lose surge fights, scuff rotates, and get keyed by better teams. The difference is how you respond. Great IGLs don't get defensive. They don't blame, they take responsibility, they learn, and they come back stronger the next day. They bring the team together, not tear it apart. That's how you build a team that trusts each other through any situation. Most players crack under stress, but IGLs know how to manage their own mental and reset their teams. That's the real clutch factor in Fortnite. If you made it this far and you're still on the fence, ask yourself, what's really stopping you from stepping up? Is it fear? Is it comfort? Is it just not knowing where to start? Whatever it is, the only way forward is through it. Becoming an IGL is hard, but it's also the single most powerful decision you can make as a competitive Fortnite player. It's a role that transforms you, not just in the game, but as a person. And what most players don't realize is that becoming an IGL isn't about being perfect once again. It's about being willing to take on uncomfortable responsibility of leadership even when you're not 100% confident. You don't need to be the best mechanical player, you don't need to have years of experience, and you don't need to know everything. What you do need is the mindset to learn fast, stay calm under pressure, and make decisions in the moment, even when they might not be right. The truth is, the more you lead, the better you become. Every bad call teaches you something, every missed rotation sharpens your awareness, and every moment you push your team to stay focused, even when they're tilted, builds that mental muscle that separates casuals from elite level competitors. You don't become a great IGL overnight, but you do become one by starting now. Build your voice, build your confidence, learn from your mistakes, and most importantly, accept that the pressure is what forges greatness. If you want to stand out in a world full of cracked players who only know how to follow, then it's time to lead. Because at the end of the day, being a successful IGL isn't just about getting the win, it's about becoming the reason your team got there in the first place. That feeling, there's nothing like it. And if you want help on that journey, don't forget to join the Flow Improvement Discord. We're building the next generation of IGLs, and we'd love to have you guys with us. Make sure to like the video if this helped you see the game differently, subscribe for more real improvement content, comment your Fortnite role below, and I want to see how many future IGLs are in the comments. And of course, use code FLOWIN in the Fortnite item shop to help support me. I love you all. You guys have a great rest of your guys' day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace, guys.